Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Xander, and today we're diving into something I really think is exciting, and that is offshore investing. So before we begin, please note that the content provided in this video or this channel is for educational purposes only. So it should not be considered as financial advice. Okay, so I'm not a licensed investment advisor, so please go and seek advice from a qualified professional before making any investment decisions. Okay, so now, if you're a South African looking to diversify your investments and protect your assets from the local economy, then this video is definitely for you. So I'm going to be breaking down everything in an easy step-by-step and show you how, even with an average salary, you can start investing offshore. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing is understanding offshore investment and also why offshore investment is important. So let's start with the basics, why you should even consider offshore investing. So we'll think of it as spreading your bets when you invest offshore. You're not putting all your eggs basically in one basket. You are spreading your investments across different countries, and this is important to remember. Also, currencies and different markets. So this can really help protect your money from any local economic issues we might face here in South Africa, and plus your investments, plus it gives your investments a better chance to grow. So for example, while the South African economy might be going through a rough time, other global markets could be doing great. So this is helping you to balance out your portfolio. So the key here then is you want to evaluate your current financial situation. So you want to see what's really happening on your finances. So before you start with thinking about investing offshore, it is very important to get a clear picture of your current financial situation. And so make sure you have a stable income and a budget that you can stick to. Also, it's a good idea to have some savings set aside for an emergency fund. So the biggest thing is you're going to ask yourself is, do I have a reliable income? Have I paid off any high interest debt or any personal loans? Do I have an emergency fund from 3 to 6 months? Also, just on the emergency fund is that 3 to 6 months is good. I would prefer a little bit better or a little bit more, but it is important to have that in place. And also, if you are looking to build your emergency fund, there is a way that you can do that. You can basically use roughly around 15% of your monthly salary, and then you're going to open a different account, and that account the interest needs to be a little bit higher, or preferably higher than the inflation, and then 15% every month you are going to put into that account to build your emergency fund. So this is important because getting your finances in order first ensures you're in a good place to start investing. So remember, investing should never jeopardize your financial security. That is really, really important. Okay, so we're going to set some clear investment goals. So next, it's important to establish clear investment goals. So ask yourself, what do you want to achieve with your offshore investment? This is really important to ask yourself this, as your goals will guide your investment choices. So here are a few examples that you can look at. Wealth preservation, really, really important. You want to protect your money from local economy instability. Growth, you're looking to get higher returns than you might from any local investment. And then income, you want to generate income with a steady income stream from your investments, for example, dividend payments. So, and then also think about your risk tolerance, how long you plan to invest, and how easily you need to access your money, the liquidity of your money. So you're in it for the long run. I mean, or it depends on when you need your funds in the near future. So you're gonna have to do things to look at that, which is really, really important. Okay, so let's get down to the next one, and that is research and how to choose a suitable investment. So now comes the fun part on choosing where to invest. Before we go on, it is from here and it's important to realize, my income, do I have a stable income? Do I have a good savings account? Do I have an emergency fund? So before those steps are in place, then you can start to look at investing. Okay, so choosing from here to invest, there are a lot of different options of offshore investments. So do some research and to figure out what's best for you. So here are a few to consider. So stocks. This means buying shares in companies listed on the Forex Stocks Exchange. So you could own shares in global giants like Apple, Samsung, or any stock that you want to invest in. The next thing is mutual funds. So mutual funds are a pooled or a basket of funds that invest in international markets. So they are managed by professionals, which is great if you're just starting out. But just be careful that some of these unit trusts can be quite expensive in fees. So just to keep an eye on that. The next thing is real estate. So buying property in other country can provide a rental income and potential appreciation. But the better approach would be to invest in index tracking ETFs or REITs. So real estate investment trusts. So these REITs are companies that own and operate or finance income producing real estate across a range of properties. They offer a way for individual investors to earn shares of these income produced through commercial real estate ownership without actually having to buy. So that's a great thing. Or to manage or finance any properties themselves. So basically REITs are a pool of capital of numerous investors to purchase and manage a portfolio of properties or real estate assets. So investors then buy these shares of the REITs, which is similar to buying shares of a company. So ETF REITs also generate income or dividends through renting or leasing these properties, which can be a nice small cash flow for you at the end of the day. So it's important to look at those. I really do like that. And then the normal exchange traded funds, ETFs. These funds track foreign indices and are traded on the stock exchange. They offer diversification and are easy to buy and to sell. The liquidity is quite easy. So think about how much you're comfortable with the potential returns and how easily you can sell your investments if needed. So stocks and ETFs, for example, are more liquid than just any other one. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now you're going to open an offshore account. So it's important to just keep this in mind. So here's a simple breakdown of how to do it. So number one is you're going to choose a reputable financial institution. Look for banks, financial services that offer offshore investments, like Easy Equities. I think there is also the interactive brokers that are also good. You have Brockstock, which is also a nice platform that you can use. Just make sure they're reputable and have experience with offshore investments. And then number two is you're going to prepare the required documents. So they're going to ask you, typically you'll need identification documents, proof of residence, and maybe some financial statements, but it's really not that much. So in each institution, it also has its own requirements. So just make sure you understand the fees and the regulations of offshore accounts. They come with various fees, including account maintenance fees, transaction fees, and currency conversion fees. So just make sure that you understand all these costs that are involved. Okay, so once you have that, now you're going to open the account. So follow the process for opening the account. This can often be done online or a local branch of an international bank. So this is going to be for you going forward. All right, so making your first investment. So with your funds in the account, it's time for you to make your first investment. Start small and gradually build your account. Diversify your investments across different assets and markets and spread your risk in good tracking ETFs. So that's important. I like the index tracking ETFs. So there are some samples. You can look at Easy Equities. They have, I think they've got MSCI index tracking, world of iShares and so on. So there are quite a few good specific index tracking ETF funds that you can follow. All right, so now you're going to monitor and manage your investments. So a thing that's important is to stay informed. You can't just ignore it. You know, this is not like sort of a set and forget. And you've got to eventually you've got to keep an eye on your investments and the global economy. So here are some tips that I like to follow. I like to look at a little bit of regular news. Just check my portfolio to make sure, you know, it still aligns with the goals. Also stay informed, you know, follow global market trends and look at news. The news aren't that really important, but the thing that's most important is actually just looking at the company that you're investing in, or the ETF, or if you buy single stocks, to make sure you look at the financial statements. So this is where an accountant can be very helpful once you look on doing that. So understand what's happening in the economy. That's also very important and also very, very crucial. And then also adjust as needed. Be ready to tweak your portfolio based on specific performances and easy changes in your financial goals, whatever feels good for you, what you think is the right steps to going forward. Okay, so one thing I really, really want to focus on, and this is very important of your investment portfolio going forward, understanding tax implications. So let's get straight to the point. Offshore investing can be really a game changer, but they come with tax implications, which is very, very important for you to understand before starting your investment journey. You need to be very, very aware of this. So here is what you need to consider. So number one is the double taxation agreements in South Africa. So South Africa has agreements with many countries to prevent you from being taxed twice on the same income. So that is important to remember because it can really happen, especially if you manage your own portfolio. It's just really good to speak to someone that's been through this, they know how the markets work, and that you can actually tap from this and learn from this. So you don't want to be in that situation where you are taxed twice. So this is a big deal because it can save you a lot of money going forward. Okay, so you're also going to remember to declare your investments. Always declare your offshore investments to the South African Revenue Services at SARS. So failing to do so can lead to hefty penalties. So just make sure you do that because you don't want to be on the wrong side of the law at the end of the day. So just make sure you do that. And then professional advice. Get advice from a tax professional who understands international tax laws. Very important. So they can help you stay compliant and optimize your tax situations, ensuring you make the most out of your investments. Then understanding these tax implications is really crucial. It will help you avoid legal issues and ensure you're making the most out of your investments. So do your homework and consult with experts. It's really, really worth doing that. Okay, so now we're going to be focusing on all the structures that you followed. And now in a sense, we're also going to begin. So what you want to do now is you want to start small, manageable amounts. So you don't want to invest. So please don't take all your money and just throw it into the stock exchange. Please don't do that. So start very, very small. You can easy equities, and I think stockbroker you can literally start with, I think, 5 Rand. So it's really start very, very small. So now the thing is, Zander, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how can I do this with an average South African salary? Here are some practical steps you can take right now. And as I mentioned, start very small. Begin with small investments. Many platforms allow you to start with relatively, low amounts. So you don't need a fortune to get started. It's just important to remember. And do regular contributions. Set up a system for regular contributions. Even small, consistent investments can grow your account significantly over time. It's really all about consistency. And this is a big thing. You can look at, there are some good ETF tracking index funds on easy equities that you can look at. And, make contributions to that account. Just every month, 15% of your income, just put it in that account and, in a sense, set and forget it. Let it just grow. And don't even look at the charts. Don't even focus too much on the fundamental analysis. But just regularly, keep an eye on your investments. But that is the main thing if you're going to start small. And then so education, education, invest time in educating yourself. There are plenty of free courses online that can help you better understand offshore investing. So really knowledge is power in that situation. And remember, the key is to start. Over time, as you become more comfortable and your financial situation improves, you can increase your investment amounts. And that's the important part. You want to take baby steps. You want to start small. And don't put too much of your money in the investment market, and don't put all your money in there. Just take it very small baby steps. And it's a journey. It's really a journey. It's not a sprint. So you can just relax. Okay, so now taking everything together. Here is really the hard truth about offshore investing. It might seem intimidating at first, but with the right approach, it is very possible to achieve this. So by diversifying your investments globally, you can protect your wealth and tap into those opportunities that's really beyond South African borders. And that's one thing to keep in mind. You don't want to put all your money just in South Africa, just in the JSE or the SA40. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen to this country. Anything can happen. So it's really, really important just to keep that in mind. And one more thing to keep in mind is inflation. And this is a big topic. Leaving your money under the bed or in a low interest rate savings account means it's losing value every day due to inflation. Every month, every year, it is losing value. And slowly but surely you are becoming poorer. Your purchasing power goes away. The rand is getting weaker. And so you have to look at investing with your funds. So investing your money helps you to beat inflation, ensuring your wealth grows over time instead of just shrinking. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more tips on growing your financial knowledge and wealth, and happy investing, and I'll see you in the next video.